for the last 20 years. Yeah, our story started in 1996 in a group of students that made some PhDs in the Autonomous University in Barcelona. That in 2001 they created the first company, and last year we spin off two businesses. One business that was focusing on election management, and the business for eParticipation, eDemocracy. So it's been a long journey to be here. I started in the company in 2006. Now it's almost 12 years already. Yeah, time flies. And after so many experiences all over the world that we've been running and helping run election process in 42 countries, we reach here this podium. So that is a short presentation about us. Today I'm going to talk about the change from eGovernment to eParticipation and eDemocracy, because it's not the same. Yes, since the 21st century, it looks like very far away. It's already 17 years ago. There's been a big investment in technology, in ICT, in government. But these investments have focused mainly on improving the efficiency of the public administration, the coordination between institutions, and the suppression of duplicities in bureaucracy. Yep. But this has been very positive. Yeah? It has modernized institutions. It's become an indicator of the progress and the transition into a digital society for the countries. And we have seen a lot of metrics built around the creation of ICT in government, yeah, in the government. We can definitely say with all this data that the introduction of the government has been very positive, and we all have an easier life, and we have a less burden of bureaucracy in our lives thanks to eDemocracy. Yeah? And let me change some slides because I just forgot. Yeah? But, and this is a big but, when we talk about eDemocracy, that's not enough. For eGovernment, it's a government-driven initiative to change the way we do things, to introduce ICT. But when we talk about eDemocracy, we need to involve the citizens. Without the citizens, we will not have eDemocracy. Because if you make some ICT investment to change the way you report your taxes, I mean, citizens will go there. They have no other option. They will just go there. If you want citizens to participate, they want to be willing to engage. Yeah? So you need to count on them. So you have to think about something that is citizen-centric. So, eDemocracy and eParticipation, they are changing the way we interact with society. Yeah? We are changing an era. This is not anymore the 20th century where we would send a letter and a few months later we'll get a response. So today, citizens interact in real time. And when we interact with government, what has happened is that with ICT tools and e-government, we have got forms to interact with government, but the response is still received after a few months later, and that's not the expectation that citizens have, and that's created some confusion. So when you go into eDemocracy, it's expected to increase the transparency, the accountability of the government, to expand civil rights. Yeah? But in my opinion, the best opportunity that eDemocracy will give us is to increase the leadership of citizens in policy making. So, in fact, when you go into participation, yeah, and here I'm not talking eParticipation yet. So when we talk about participation, we get lots of benefits. Yeah? First of all, you get a double legitimacy. You have all the elected officials that until now they have been elected once every 4 years, and they would get the feedback from their citizens after 4 years if they did well or wrong. And with this real-time society that we have today, that's not expected anymore. So you go into participation. So you get double legitimation because you get feedback from the citizens in the middle. Yeah? And you can do that on paper, on meetings. There's different ways of doing it. Yeah? And in this way, you increase the quality of the decisions, yeah? Because you get the feedback from the people. You reduce the time. even though it takes longer, but you reduce the time overall because the decisions are better and you don't need to revisit them afterwards. And with consensus, it's easier to implement them. So there is lots of benefits into doing participation. And if you look at the latest study from the United Nations in 2016, you see that when you have cities, governments that have evolved into e-government, there's a clear correlation into which ones are also moving into e-democracy. And e-democracy is a way of doing the citizen participation I was talking before, but with online means. And when you introduce ICT into participation, then you get some other set of benefits that these are very, very important, because you know that if you organize meetings in a city hall for citizens to come and give feedback, normally you get the same 50 people from the city on every meeting. It's always the same people. There's the people that they are very active, or that they have the time to go there, or they are very loud or very upset, but you don't really get a good picture of all your citizens, what their opinions are. And when you use ICT and you do it online, you reduce the effort to participate and the opportunity cost. So people can participate from anywhere at any time, and that makes it easier. It also allows for a permanent debate. You don't have to wait until the time of that meeting to go out there and participate. And this really helps improving. And there is no limit in participation. Everything gets documented, so you don't have to wait for the minutes of that city hall meeting. And oh, by the way, the minutes were wrong or they missed something, so everything gets documented. So it really increases transparency, well done properly. Here at City, what we built is a platform to help cities and communities do that. So it's a place where you can go and do ideation, referendums, consultations, accountability, open data, all in one shot. And I will welcome you in our booth to show it. But this is not about the publicity here, so that's about us. Just an example. Yeah? We have been doing these kind of things for lots of communities all over the world. I just want to give you a recent example from Lloret de Mar, that is a city that is close to Barcelona. Yeah? Lloret de Mar, they started doing participatory budgets last year, and this year they decided to go from paper to online and paper. Yeah? And just by doing that, and being the second time, participation increased by 62%. But also, from the overall participation they got this year, 67% was online. Yeah? So this shows that really the opportunity to participate online is so much beneficial that even when you do it the first time, you have a lot of adoption if done in a way and explained in a way that citizens know that this possibility exists. Yeah? But not everything is a rose garden in participation. There's lots of challenges. Yeah? You have a digital divide in society. Not everybody has access to ICT or the knowledge. So when you move into online participation, online democracy, you really need to make sure that you still maintain some channels for those that are not able to participate on that way to continue participating. And also you have to get a meaningful participation, and you have to make continuity. So if you do some project for e-participation, collect some data from citizens, but afterwards you don't explain what the results of that project was. You don't show the citizens that you listen to them and you reacted to them, and you don't show continuity with the next action where you ask again for feedback, you lose them. Yeah, because you get a lot of frustrated citizens that end up thinking that it was a worthless effort to participate, and you don't want that. So here at City, we are here to help you to have this journey with you. This is an exciting journey, and we really love to work with all of you, and we really hope that you will come and see us at our booth. So thank you.
Thank you very much.